Okay, so we're going to have today's story. Now, the last few weeks we've been having lots of Easter stories, and now we are going back to what we were doing before Easter, which is reading from the Jesus Storybook Bible. Do you know that we started right at the very beginning of this, at the very first lockdown last March? And we're getting quite near the end now. Today's story is called The Friend of the Little Children. And if you want to get your Jesus Storybook Bible and read along, do feel free. So, The Friend of the Little Children. Jesus' friends were arguing. Who was the most important helper in God's kingdom, they wanted to know. I am, said James. No, you're not, said Peter. I am. Nonsense, said Matthew. I'm the cleverest. No, you're not. Yes, I am. Yes, no, am too. This silliness went on and on like that for some time. You see, Jesus' friends had started thinking that they had to do something to make themselves special to Jesus. That if they were the cleverest or the nicest or something, Jesus would like them best. But they had forgotten something. Something God had been teaching his people all through the years. That no matter how clever you are, or how good you are, or how rich you are, or how nice you are, or how important you are, none of it makes any difference. Because God's love is a gift. And as anyone will tell you, the whole thing about a gift is it's free. All you have to do is reach out your hands and take it. So while Jesus' friends were arguing, some people who knew all about getting gifts, in fact, you might say they were gift experts, had come to see Jesus. Who were they? They were little children. Jesus' helpers tried to send them away. Jesus doesn't have time for you, they said. He's too tired. But they were wrong. Jesus always had time for children. Don't ever send them away, Jesus said. Bring the little ones to me. Now, if you had been there, what do you think? Would you have had to line up quietly to see Jesus? Do you think Jesus would have asked how good you had been before he gave you a hug? Would you have to have been on your best behaviour and get dressed up and not speak until you're spoken to? Or would you have done just as these children did? Run straight up to Jesus and let him pick you up in his arms and swing you and kiss you and hug you and then sit you on his lap and listen to your stories and your chats. You see, children loved Jesus and they knew they didn't need to do anything special for Jesus to love them. All they needed to do was run into his arms. And that's just what they did. Well, after all the laughing and games, Jesus turned to his helpers and said, no matter how big you grow, never grow up so much that you lose your child's heart, full of trust in God. Be like these children. They are the most important in my kingdom. Well done, good listening. Let's ask our questions about the story. First of all, what was your favourite part of today's story? Second, what do you think was the most important part of that story? And lastly, I think this is quite an easy question today. Where would you be if you were in the story? I think we would all love to be one of those children sitting on Jesus' lap, telling him everything we wanted him to know and listening to his story. Well done. I hope you enjoyed that.